Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott. As always, thank you all for tuning in to our live broadcast tonight. It has been a minute since we've done a live video on YouTube or Facebook. So this week we're bringing it back. I see Tammy Always 100 is still with us. Love you big time. Branson is in. Miss Williams is in as well. As Neil Simon is in also. I love you guys. Thank you for your genuine support. Okay, I'm not gonna waste any time this evening because all of you know why we're here tonight. R. Kelly convicted again for the second time. Before we get into the trial and how much time R. Kelly is facing now, I just want to stress this, and you guys have heard me say it a million in one time. I don't know, Dana Hudson, good evening to you. Love you big time. I don't know how we can say justice has been served when it comes to R. Kelly. Justice has not been served. Am I saying that if we let R. Kelly go, justice would be served? No. If I said that, that would be super stupid, and you guys will stop listening to me. R. Kelly did some of the things they say he did. However, if what we've been hearing from the state and from the feds is true, they said for 30 years, not 29, they said for 30 years, R. Kelly had this sexual enterprise, molesting little girls. If that be true, before we get started tonight, this is not rocket science. If I'm running an enterprise, no one man, no one woman runs an enterprise by themselves. You can't do that. That means I need help. I have to have help. And so if I have to have help, then that means if I'm doing something that's illegal, then somebody else has to go down with it. Because for 30 years, it would have been impossible for me to have pulled this off by my little self. Impossible. Impossible. So, was justice served today, when it comes to R&B singer R. Kelly? Justice was not served. It's just as simple as that. Justice was not served when it comes to R. Kelly. R. Kelly was convicted today on multiple counts of child pornography. He was acquitted on obstruction of justice charge. The U.S. attorney says that the time will be ran consecutively. It will not be concurrent. Kelly faces anywhere from 10 to 90 years in prison. 10 to 90 years in prison. Briefly, we was on Facebook a little while ago. I shared some of the closing remarks from R. Kelly's lead attorney, Attorney General. And the remarks that I shared stayed with me, and I highlighted them because I agree with each one of those remarks. No one is saying that R. Kelly should get away with murder. What I'm saying, I can't speak for you all, what I'm saying is that it should be illegal to prosecute R. Kelly and you don't prosecute the helpers. $30 years. R. Kelly ran his enterprise. The parents, we're going to talk a lot about them tonight. The parents pimped their children out to R. Kelly. For 30 years, his managers knew. For 30 years, assistants knew. For 30 years, the butlers, the maids, the bodyguards, the drivers, the runners, the record company, agencies. For 30 years, somebody knew what R. Kelly was doing. How do I know that? And I wasn't there. I know that because it's simple. For 30 years, he kept it a secret. Couldn't have. Somebody set the hotels up. Somebody rented the car. Somebody served them. When you make a deal with the devil, you are just as guilty as the individual that you are trying to prosecute. In other words, don't let your conduct become worse than the conduct you said you're trying to stop and change. Justice was not served. Justice was not served because the only somebody was R. Kelly. Others got away with murder. That's unfair. That should be illegal for the government to make deals with the devil just to get, quote unquote, the head devil. If it happened for 3 weeks, if it happened for 3 months, 3 years, I may roll with you, get your break. But for 30 years, mind you, he had some people come and go. But for whoever was there, however long they were there, they should have been prosecuted right next to R. Kelly. If I leave the pimp on the streets, being the parents, and I lock up Kelly, Kelly is the buyer, the highest bidder, I would come before the cameras and say, justice in this country has been served today. Robert Sylvester Kelly will spend the rest of his life in prison. We will not tolerate this with our little children. Unacceptable behavior. R. Kelly will die in prison. I want to thank all of my team for helping me bring R. Kelly to justice. That's not justice. That's not justice. Justice is to bring everybody in that was in on it. And then you let the jury decide on everybody. You don't sit and decide who you're going to give immunity to just to get R. Kelly. I didn't get R. Kelly in Chicago in the 20s, early 20s, but I'm going to get him now. So I'm going to convict him. And somewhere in there, I'm not sure right now, somewhere in there, it might be a case of double jeopardy, because we have a 14-year-old girl who did not testify then, but now is a grown woman, comes to testify. I don't want to hear nothing. That's an old case. That's an old case. Dealing with a VHS tape that we all know has an unreliable time stamp. Unreliable. And if we're still saying this is R. Kelly, no, they didn't say that. What they said, this brother on the video with the little girl resembles R. Kelly. You cannot convict someone because they said it resembles a person. It resembles. Either it is or it ain't. It's just that simple. Just that simple. I'm gonna read a quick comment. Balling I think it says Pat Houston, too much time. Uh, Tammy Always 100, everybody needs to go to jail. Both of you just preached. Then Williams says, so true, Mr. Scott. Others are involved. They're letting the sink ship without the passing. You just preach. You just preach. You just preach. Nobody is saying R. Kelly shouldn't have no time. New York, 30 years, is it fair? No, it's not fair. I think since you say it was an enterprise for 30 years, I don't think you really looked at the crimes. I think you gave him a year that would, you see where I'm going? 30 years, give me a year for each one. So you've done nothing because you left the pimps on the street. Well, yeah, but their daughters and your children are grown now. Listen to me, you left the pimps on the street. If they pimp their very own, what do you think they would do? What do you think they would do? Before we get to what he was charged with, what he was convicted of today, what his attorney said, I'm sorry, because I want to highlight some of what I thought was very high points from his lead attorney doing closing arguments. She said it so well, R. Kelly was convicted today of multiple child pornography charges at a Chicago federal trial and acquitted of others. R. Kelly was convicted on 3 counts, 3 of the 4 child pornography counts, and acquitted on charges that he conspired to obstruct justice in his 2008 trial, which stemmed from a 2002 state case. He was also found guilty on 3 of the 5 counts of enticement of a minor to engage in criminal sexual activity. Criminal sexual activity. Now, tomorrow we're doing a 2-hour special. We're going to break down everything tomorrow. We're going to break it all down. But quickly, I want to look at some of the things that his attorney pointed out. And each one of these I'm about to bring you, I agree 1,000,000% with each one. She said it so well. R. Kelly, federal trial. We've been accused of making child pornography. The day after prosecutors delivered their closing arguments, Kelly's lead attorney made her standing at a podium a few feet in front of the jury. Now watch this. Kelly's lead attorney general noted that many key government witnesses, including some of the women who accused Kelly of sexual abusing them, testified with immunity to ensure they wouldn't be charged with previously lying to authority. So what that says to me is that somewhere down the line, these people have lied to the authority, and that lie was found out. If you lie to me one time, I then question everything else that you say. But in order to take down R. Kelly, in order to lay down R. Kelly, we make a deal with the devils. I'm not going to worry about that. You take the stand. I don't give a damn if it's a lie. As a matter of fact, I'm going to help you dress that lie up today. And we're going to get it. It's either that or I prosecute you. And you're looking at some serious time and say, I'll do it. So the government had them to raise their right hand to take the oath that they're telling the gospel. And they knew they was telling some gospel, but some gospel came with a whole lot of lies just to get R. Kelly. You have justice has not been served. Justice can only be served in this case with many other co-defendants going down with R. Kelly. Sparkle, she should have went down. We give him deals. His attorney was right. They testified with him, knowing they can't be touched. So not only, again, was the government okay with them lying, in my opinion, is not a fact, and I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as fact, it's just my opinion. Quickly, let me read what someone says. I think it said Egg Beaters. He had been bullying little girls, buying little girls from their parents. Okay, you just preached. That's it, in a nutshell. He said he ain't seen nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Okay. Okay, but here's the thing. I don't care how much a person has. Your child should never become commodity. Your child should never become a pawn. Your child should never be viewed as making you rich because of what's between your child's eyes. Those are not the characters that are inside of parents. Maybe a baby mama and a baby daddy here and there, but parents don't think like that. That's why it's hard for so many parents today to believe this, that the parents would do that, because good parents don't think like that. Good parents play their role to the T, and their main purpose is keep the children away from stranger danger. You are my responsibility until you turn 18 or the state say you're 21. After that, you can do what you want to do. But whatever you do now is on me. I'd rather be living in a shotgun house on a mattress with my children than living in a mansion from pimping them out. And later on, your kids begin to see you, the pimp, in a different light. They begin to see mother and father as pimp and pimp. And then they can grow up to hate you because you made them into unwilling prostitutes. And at a very young age, everything they see that R. Kelly has, they want. They're eating food that they can't even pronounce the name, going to places they never knew exist, riding around in his Bugatti, whatever car he's driving. Matching here, matching there, fancy hotel. Whatever you want, I got it. I buy it. You want it, go get it. I got it. And that's okay with them. And the girls were willing to lay down and do whatever R. Kelly said, because R. Kelly is R. Kelly. And if he wanted, I'm going to give it to him. So I'm saying this before the foolishness comes, because somebody's going to say, well, these was a bunch of little fast girls. I can't say that. I can't say it was. I can't say it wasn't. But for the second argument, let's just do this tonight. Let's say it was. Okay. Does that mean R. Kelly had to take them up on their offer? No. You know why? R. Kelly is the adult. The adult. It's just that simple. Good evening, Sister Bell, aka Blue. April Showers, good evening to you as well, especially the mother of Jane who lied on the stand. I'm going to get into that tomorrow, but that's an excellent point. And I think it was, they didn't give the names, but I think that might have been one of the individuals that the jurors were having some doubt about their testimony. So we will get into that tomorrow. So the children were pimped out. You've done nothing. You still have left stranger danger on the streets. Justice has not been served. It hasn't been. But you wanted R. Kelly so bad, you were willing to lie. The justice system is supposed to be the pill that's right for this country, the cure. The justice system is not supposed to be part of the crooked system. But we saw it in New York City, and today we saw it in Chicago. That's how bad they want it all. If you cared about justice, if you cared about justice, if you care about what happened to the children, if you really cared about it, if you had a genuine concern, how can you make a deal with the parents and those that work with him to get them to testify, and we'll throw immunity on the table? You didn't care about what happened to them. You didn't. You was just focused on R. Kelly. I got to get it. I got to. The next movie they make, I'm gonna be in it because I am the prosecutor that took him down. You took him down. But you solved nothing. You've made it worse. Because if they pimp their own, come on now. If you're for justice, then you must be for justice. It's just that simple. I think it's earthly sad what has happened here today. R. Kelly needs some time in New York, and he needs some time in Chicago. But the people that knew about this, that okayed this, that participated in this, why weren't they sitting in the courtroom? I tell you why. They didn't give a damn. They wasn't after them. It was after R. Kelly. So if the justice system would do something as diabolical as that, don't you think that they would also encourage their loyal witnesses to lie? No, the justice system won't tell somebody to get on the stand and lie. They do it every day. They do it every day. They do it every day. This is not a time for immunity. This is a time for justice. You took the money. You took the car. You took your shopping. Put money in your bank account. That says that you signed your name. You signed your name as I am the pimp. This is my child, the hoe. She didn't say that. Anytime you pimp your child out, your child is considered by the buyer as being a hoe. And when anyone pimp anyone out for that matter, they see that person as commodity, as an inanimate object, no feeling. My hoe, I'm gonna pimp you out. So if the justice system in New York and Chicago really cared about what R. Kelly did to those girls, they would have shown it today. And they did. It is earthly impossible for you to have convicted Kelly and then bring the co-defendants with him. We'll talk about the other two that he was tried with in this case tomorrow. Our justice system is not broken. Our justice system was designed the way it is. And sometimes you can want an individual locked up so bad you will do whatever it takes to get him. Will you lie? Yes. We saw, y'all remember the Breonna Taylor case. What's it, the Breonna Taylor case? Where they lied. I think that's the right one. They lied about the evidence to get the search warrant that mail was coming there in the form of drugs. That was a lie. And they knew that was a lie. And then now after executed that lie successfully, now there has to be another lie to try to cover up the first lie that gave you authority to execute a search warrant based upon a lie. So now somebody's got to sign Papers say they believe everything that you're saying. And after that, I'm going to sign some more papers to lie and cover up what we did. Why are you going to do that? Because we committed a crime. So my point for bringing that up is the system will lie today. I should have to play games to convict you. We shouldn't make deals with pimps, especially when children are involved. We shouldn't do that. So now the government, our conduct becomes worse than the conduct we say we're trying to change and take off the streets. Everyone should be inside of a jail cell. Sister Bell, aka Blue, says, right, the other two defendants walked out and R. Kelly knew he had a problem now, so let's be real. He knew right from wrong. But he shouldn't have been prosecuted alone. One guy gets on stand and admits to telling R. Kelly, give me $1 million and I bring you another tape. And if you don't, I'm gonna go to the authorities. Because what I have on you is it's not only going to implicate you in a crime, it's going to put you right there with your woman. Huh? We can't be hypocritical. We have to be 100% real. It was unfair today. It was just unfair. But R. Kelly is a big name. A big name. He was a genius in his field. He was. But I can't prosecute R. Kelly if I don't prosecute the others, especially the parents. Why does Mr. Scott keep bringing up the parents? Because had the parents not pimped them out, you and I would not be talking tonight. I don't care if the girls was hot, fast, whatever you want to call it. That's where the parents come in. Huh? It's like some parents have gotten to the point today to where we don't raise our children. Social media does that. And sometimes we don't like the end results of what social media has done to our children. Well, if you had been paying attention to your child, you would not be upset, because sometimes the end result with social media can be death. We've seen many kids kill themselves through social media. Who's watching your children? Not you. And it's not babysitting when they're your kids. It's being a father. It's being a mother. Together we break chains. Production. April Shower sent me here. Good evening and welcome. How much time do I think R. Kelly going to get? As much as they can get away with giving. It's just that simple. My sister, one of my sisters, Brenda, like me, she likes R. Kelly. She loves his music, and she based a lot of her thinking on emotions. Though, oh, he's going to give this back. He's going to give that back. Sometimes what I give you, I don't want back. You can try to give it back, but I'm not going to take it. So it's just not that easy. If he can give anything back. So if you look at R. Kelly being sentenced to 30 years in New York, depending upon honesty, he might have to serve 18 to 21 years before he give anything back. But if someone digs deep, diligently look into this case, they'll realize that, okay, he did this, he did that. But y'all lied on the stand. You told the witnesses to lie on the stand. And that was okay, because had they not lied, you couldn't convict him. Because the jury got no. And if I had been one of the jurors, my question is this: I can't convict him on nothing. I can't. I'm not going to convict him. Well, why? You saw him on the tape. I know what I saw on the tape. I can't convict him without convicting the pimp. Now bring them to me, and then we'll talk. If I send R. Kelly to prison until the day he died, I've done nothing to society. The trouble is still amongst us. It's not about how many convictions you can get up under your belt, but quiet as it's kept, our criminal justice system cares more about convictions than justice. But when they come before the camera, they paint themselves out to be your hero, your savior. Don't touch the children. And we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I want to read a comment from Faith. Yeah, she says, I hate to say this, but he'll probably die in prison. Let me say this to you, Faith. It's good to see you tonight. You just told the truth. You just told the truth. And I think R. Kelly's 55. What you have to understand is, well, if you've never been in prison, then you won't get it out there. Sometimes prison or out free, worrying can take you out fast too. It can stop your blood from flowing, stop your heart from beating, knowing who you are, what you were, what you had, but now you're in prison until the day you die. So, but he hasn't been given life. He's 55. You tell him 30. You go over here and tell him 30 again. You tell him 60. What you just told him? You told him death. So no one wins it. Kelly's lead attorney again. She talked about Kelly's ex-girlfriend, Lisa Van Allen, who testified how she stole a sex tape from R. Kelly's gym bag in the early 2000s. R. Kelly's attorney pointed to the testimony of Kelly's former merchandise agent, Charles Freeman, who told jurors he asked the singer for $1 million in exchange for returning another sex tape that could potentially incriminate the singer. She ends by saying both testified with immunity. So now, you're blackmailing me. You're on a witness stand. You're taking an oath to tell me, you tell the people, you tell the world that you committed a crime. You committed a crime. That's right. And so you want me to believe whatever he says now. And he just admitted to me that he's a criminal, that he's a liar. Lock him up. It's just as simple as that. Tammy always 100 says at this point it doesn't matter, he's going to die in prison. I mean, he might. I wouldn't, but I'm not so quick to just give up because somebody has to keep fighting. Somebody has to keep fighting for him because he can't fight for himself. I'm not saying he should walk out of prison free. No, he must do some time. But is it a possibility that R. Kelly would die in prison? Without a doubt. Sister Bell says, his attorney says there is something wrong with his legs, so he has health problems. Let me tell you something about being in prison and you have health issues. They got a thing they call infirmary. They'll take good care. I've been there. But I understand what you're saying. Tammy Always 100 says they're just going to pimp them out to someone else. I could have ended my show with that. I could have. All I'm saying, people, is that I haven't always done right, but I haven't always done wrong. But if you're the justice system, we expect for you to be fair. We have to trust you because you're our sister. We don't expect for our justice system to become the criminals they keep locking up. Here's one of another key point that I highlighted for is lead attorney said. The lead attorney said that their testimony and other evidence, she compared it to a cockroach and the government's case to a bowl of soup. The insect is found in a bowl of soup. The insect is found in. Watch this. You don't just pull out the cockroach and eat the rest of the soup. There are just too many cockroaches. It's simple. R. Kelly, again, did some things to say big, but a lot of people lied on him. And everyone that worked with him should also be somewhere in a jail cell. There is no negotiating with him. Only thing I can tell you is that I'm gonna stay out of it. If you get there and you tell what you knew and tell what you did, I'm gonna leave that up to the jury and judge. I'm not giving you nothing. But if you don't, if you don't, if you don't testify, tell the truth, it's over. It's over. So now, even if they don't ask you to lie about something, I ain't going to prison for nobody. No, no, you'll be going for yourself because you committed a crime with Kelly. This is an enterprise. One man don't run it. Trump, a lot of companies, biggest crooked is though. He don't. That if it was just him, he'd be broke. You have flunkies. You have assistants. You have bodyguards, managers, road managers, producers. But nobody comes to share the burden with R. Kelly. Nobody. If that don't make you go, something ain't right. Something's not right. So, again, my opinion tonight is that justice was not served. It wasn't. Too many people remain free. When I first heard the Savages speak about their daughter, Jocelyn, I wasn't really into the R. Kelly case because that wasn't our thing back then. But when I hear her speak of it, I honestly thought that this was a little girl about 14 or 15. And then when I began to watch, and people schooled me on what was going on and what had happened, and I'm like, so this is a grown woman that she says is being held against her will, that R. Kelly has kidnapped. This is the grown woman that lives with R. Kelly, and R. Kelly's getting ready to go to Dubai to do a concert, but her and her husband and others interfere and get that thing canceled because she was scared that R. Kelly was going to take her daughter out of the country and they would never see their daughter again. Newsflash, your daughter's in the United States with you and you don't see it. They were not held hostage. They were there. They were there. Sister Bell says, I thought that too. And we're gonna get out of here. I'm on I'm on the news stations every day. Every day. I'm being interviewed here. I'm being interviewed there. My daughter, we love our daughter. No, you don't. They wanted their daughter back, this grown woman back into their custody, because they knew if anyone could sink them, if anyone could sit them down inside of a jail cell until the day they died, it was Joshua. No, you don't pimp what you love. You don't. Your daughter doesn't want to see. Doesn't want to see. Even before all this got started, you see them out with bodyguards sometimes, see them out by themselves. But the whole thing was to paint R. Kelly out to be a monster in human form, and even with the lifetime thing, and which was he shouldn't have done, he shouldn't have never done an interview with CBS Mornings with Gayle King, because what they were doing was speaking to potential jurors, but R. Kelly didn't know that. When Gayle sat there like this, and R. Kelly got up and got together, Gayle never flinched. Her hair didn't flinch. I applauded her the next day. I said, well done, because she didn't move. She's like, Robert. I said, you listen but an hour, please sit. And I thought about it. You know why she didn't flinch? Because she had rehearsed that. Gayle was part of the plot to take down R. Kelly. Why would you say it? Well, R. Kelly, y'all killing me with this shit. I 30 years. This is my life they're talking about. Y'all killing me with this shit. See him? See how he goes off? Ooh, I'm scared of it. I don't give a damn if I'm guilty or innocent. I would go off. You would go off. If he hadn't went off, they were still going to find something negative to say about R. Kelly. See how calm he was? You know that he has no remorse. Either way it goes, he was doing it. But his biggest mistake was sitting down with Gayle. Queen B says 7 of the biggest charges and the others were lesser charges. Today was not a win. I don't think it was not for Kelly. It would have been a win to me for Kelly. I mean, with what happened today, if others had been prosecuted with Kelly. So that justice system did not work today. This is my opinion. In my opinion, it's not a fact. It's just my opinion. I don't know what's going on with Tammy Always 100. She said they were saying that she was pregnant. I've heard that, and I just want to know, how did she get pregnant? I mean, when did she become pregnant? I mean, when? When did she become pregnant? You know, when did she become fiance? Sometimes you can want to convict somebody so bad that you yourself, being the law, will not play by the rules. And that's what they did. If they had just sat back and waited long, they wouldn't have to plot to get it. Because he was sinking himself. But it's just like somebody killing their husband, because he's worth more to them dead than alive. He's got $25 million and everything else. That's yours. But you got him financial damage and done some things that you don't want him to know about. But you're out divorce, you get nothing. So you begin to plot to kill him. And you do it slowly. But what you didn't know is that he was already dying. He didn't know. He had cancer. And if you'd have just left it alone, in 28 more days, he'd have been dead. but you wanted him so bad that you went the expressway to get him out, and now you in jail and you get nothing. He was coming to him. He was. He was coming. Yeah. The doctor on Lifetime. That was the beginning of R. Kelly's. And you know, I wish bad for no one, but R. Kelly would have to have wished it a little bad for himself than you and I. I got to get out of here. Look, I love you guys. We apologize for not being here for some weeks now, but we've been on some other things that will be coming back with more live videos. And if you all like this video, please share the video, and we will still continue to keep you all informed. You know, I think they put it out yesterday when his timeline of trouble started, and if it didn't go out, I'll put it up in the morning if I don't do it tonight on our Injustice page. My good friend, you have never came in my house this late. Miss Winfrey, you've never done that. I'm so disappointed. Very disappointed. I'm glad you're here, but I'm disappointed. Good day, people. Always a pleasure. Queen A, I love you big time. I always love to see you when you pop up. Please come back. And I'm glad that you were here tonight. As always, I love all of you, and thank you all for being here tonight. You know I'm in the show, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're financially able, you see the cash app up there. Let's put some money in there to keep this guy talking, telling you what they don't want you to know. We uncut 100%. We don't bow down to nobody. We're not associated with no organization or whatever. I tell it exactly the way I see it. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just the way that I see it. So the hashtag is $ Eddie Mays Boy. If you're willing, Creek Don't Rise. I'll be back tomorrow night. Remember, I'm not always right. You are not always wrong. I love you. Y'all have a good night.